Just after 10 o'clock on a Saturday morning, I walked past a display window at Marshall Field's men's store where a short man in a purple smock was arranging a suit on a mannequin. As I stopped to look, the window dresser turned to have a look at me. The suit was a double-breasted flannel number in baby blue, which happened to be the same color as my eyes, which meant, as far as I was concerned, I was just the baby for it. I needed a new outfit to go with my new job. Due to no fault of my own, I'd been promoted. I tipped my hat to the dresser, walked into the store, made my way to the suit department, sized up the sales clerks, and settled on a fussy-looking, gray-haired man whose name tag identified him as Mr. Geiger. Geiger was behind the cuff-link display case, which was 2 counters over from the suit counter, but his eyes said, "Come hither." So I went thither and told him what I wanted. Geiger, who was nattily dressed in a gray pinstriped getup, fluttered his hand up to his neck and said, "Kiddo, I know just the one you mean. Hang on a minute." He ducked into the back room. A moment later, he came out with the suit, laid the pants on the counter, then held up the coat behind me. I slipped on the coat while he stood by with pins in his mouth ready to make adjustments, but he didn't need to. That double-breasted jacket fit me like a second skin. Next, I tried on the pants. Geiger ran a tape measure up and down my legs, then he ran it up and down my legs one more time just to be sure. After he pinned the cuffs, I stepped in front of the 3-way mirror. I turned so I could see what the pants did for me from behind. Judging from Geiger's expression, they did exactly what I wanted. Next, I roamed around the men's department while Geiger tagged along. I spotted a dark navy shirt. I picked up the shirt and handed it to Geiger, who shook his head and grimaced. After that, I found a white linen tie. When I handed the tie to Geiger, he screwed up his forehead as if the sight of it made his eyes hurt. At my final stop, I picked out a white linen breast pocket handkerchief that had a pre-folded crease so crisp it would have been impossible to blow my nose in it. This time, Geiger merely shrugged. Geiger carried my array of accessories back to the counter. As he folded and wrapped the shirt, he sighed and made a clucking sound. He did the same thing for the tie. When he was done, he ran his hand up to his neck again and said, "You're killing me with this shirt and tie." I told him, "Yeah? Well, that's because it's a killer combo." Geiger shrugged. "If you say so, kiddo." My snappy outfit might have been a little too snappy for Geiger, but it was way too snappy for Amalgamated Home and Life, where I worked. I didn't care. The look was classy. It was confident. It was just what I wanted. At 8 o'clock on Monday morning, I walked through the heavy glass doors of the Fisher Building on Dearborn Street to start my new job. The new job came with a new office on a higher floor, the 17th, in a corner suite with windows on both sides and a bird's-eye view of the elevated train on Van Buren Street. When I got to my office, I stepped inside, closed the door, and went straight to the window to take in how far up in the world I'd come. A week earlier, my office had been down on the 16th floor, down with the sales agents. I turned from the window and took a seat in the leather swivel chair behind the desk. Unfortunately, the chair fit me about as well as a bathtub fits a baby. The man who'd previously used the chair was larger. His dark walnut desk was roughly the size of a platform built to hold an elephant. Everything in my new office was big compared to what I'd had back on the 16th floor. The chair and the desk had belonged to my recently deceased predecessor, Martin Zimmerman. Martin had been both my friend and my mentor. He'd been the head of claims at Amalgamated Home and Life, and now that job belonged to me. Martin had tried to teach me about the claims business whenever we worked together, which happened whenever he had to investigate a claim that was made on a policy I'd sold. As we worked, Martin would expound on the insurance racket. I'd nod my head, but I was only half listening. Now that he was gone, I wish I'd paid more attention to what he was trying to teach me. A pile of Martin's open case files sat on a corner of the desk. I pulled cases from the stack one by one to study them. I was learning on the job, and I had to learn fast. 2 days after Martin's death, Mr. Chambers, Jr., who owned Amalgamated, had promoted me to take over as head of claims. As far as I could tell, Jr. offered me the job mainly because it was cheaper for him to promote me than to hire someone new. On the day of my promotion, Jr. came down from his office on the 18th floor. He got straight to the point,